I'm alive. It's been a while since I made a video for this channel. For pretty much one reason, and it's a good reason. And that reason is that my original, thought child, baby, my original dream, my original channel, Green Beans Go, is doing the best that it's ever been doing. And that is awesome. And my other channels, my offshoot channels, were in some ways an avenue to, yes, make things that were not fitting into the sports videos, but it was also a way to potentially generate another stream of income. Okay. It was, if this sports channel fails, can I build another channel doing things that are life related and still make this content career a reality? But when the sports channel has been doing as well as it has been, and doing so daily, my energy is just not as diffused across other potential energy sucking things like the Red Means No channel. Also, a little TLD, that's not the word, TMI. It's going to be long. I'm not going to give you a TLDR. About a month or two ago, I started taking ADHD meds. Guys, everybody needs these. Even if you don't. If you felt how I felt, you'd take them. You'd take them. You'd want them. Truthfully, though, I don't know how I lived the way I lived for 30 years. No wonder I was overstimulated, exhausted, stressed, worried about everything. I don't want to take the big jump and say I could go back to teaching with these meds. I don't want to say they're a miracle drug, but it's not that. Yeah, I don't know if they're that good. But my general temperament about like fear of the future, worrying about money, is this channel going to succeed? Like all those, like I got to work because if I don't, my family's going to starve. Like all that stuff has kind of faded. And so, yes, it's helped me focus, but it's kind of just shut off the chatter in my brain that constantly goes, and pulls me in different directions. So that's like another reason that I haven't felt the need to like make these videos, which is a blessing. But it did coincide with the success of Green Beans Go, which is awesome. And they probably are both working together in so many words. So I was thinking the other day, because I know that, okay, basically baseball season is just really solid for my channel. People love my baseball videos, and I do not necessarily know if when baseball's over, we're going to continue the success. Last year, when baseball ended and football started, it continued for about 6 weeks, and then it fell off a cliff. It fell off an unbelievable cliff. In what was 2,000 and 3,000 views a video, went down to 200 and 300 views a video, and I couldn't figure it out. And so I'm kind of anticipating that while this is the most successful sports season that I've had, it may not be forever. Yes, of course, it could climb and it could go, and this could just be the start. That'd be awesome. But I realize that may not be the case, and I've seen it be not the case. So I was thinking about what was happening on that channel. Why was that channel successful? And when you are doing this for a living, let me rephrase that and not talk about you. Let me talk about me. When I'm doing this for a living, my brain is constantly trying to crack the code. It is constantly trying to figure out how to get views. The algorithm, so to speak. What does the algorithm want? And I was facing this battle of appealing to the algorithm, but also appealing to myself. And it was this tension that was bothering me for, well, really the entire time that I've been making content. And what I realized is, in some ways, I have to just, I hate this. I have to somewhat bow to the algorithm. I have to say, these things work. I enjoy these things, so let's just do them. Let's not try to challenge the status quo or what's working. And I'm seeing that on TikTok. I'm seeing that on YouTube. If I make consistent style of videos, they gain attention and traction and they grow. And yes, it does kind of put me into a box, but in some ways, it's a much nicer box than a box. I could be in another box. I could be in a worse box. So on my OG channel, my Green Means Go channel, I do the same style of video every day. Viewers know what to expect. It creates a rhythm. It creates, I think, a sense of comfort with the viewer. It creates a routine for them. And it does for me as well. And so that is good. And so I was thinking about, what can I do for Red Means No, which I haven't touched in a while? And maybe I just throw this out. Maybe this is garbage. What can I do that mimics the success of that? And I had this idea of turning this channel into a channel that does one thing. And my idea is, we call it I Finally Watched. Like, that's the channel. I may even change the name from Red Means No to I Finally Watched ... And so this is my brainchild. Is that the word I was looking for earlier? Brainchild? I don't really care for that. This is my idea. The channel is called I Finally Watched. Growing up, I did not watch TV. Part of that was because, movies rather. Part of that was because I didn't want to / I did not enjoy movies. For the same reason that I didn't enjoy reading. For the same reason that I'm medicated, potentially. I didn't like sitting still. I didn't like consuming something that I knew already had an ending, and I just had to wait to discover the ending. Does that make sense to you? You see what I'm saying? I would rather create. I would rather build. I would rather imagine things. I would rather do something that feels like I'm adding to the world, not consuming something else that someone had added, and most of the time was fake, right? Fiction, hated fiction. But also I couldn't read as a kid. Like, I don't know why. My dad, biggest reader I know, book addict. Me, it's the classic, I read 2 pages, wait, my brain was somewhere else, I have to go back and read those 2 pages. I just hated reading. The other part of not watching movies is because my parents were very careful, is the positive way to say it, about what I consumed. They were, PG, hard line at PG. Even as I got older, middle school and high school, there were still pretty strict rules about what I could watch. And so I just never watched movies. I watched Toy Story 2. I watched The Sandlot. I watched The Little Rascals. I watched The Iron Giant. I probably watched those 4 movies more times combined than I've watched any other movie ever combined. So the idea of this new channel is, or this channel, which will be new, is to watch films that I should have already watched as a 30-year-old human on Earth in America. And then review those films for you guys. Talk about what I like. We'll develop a system that you guys will understand, that you guys will be comfortable with, that you guys will know is coming every time. Like, I want a template. There's a trash truck and the window's open. Can you hear it? There will be a template. There will be a structure. And it is a repeatable thing. And so, Shawshank Redemption, for example, never seen it. Okay? So, you guys will comment, and this can be like the first video, your comments. You guys will comment, like, classic movies, movies you like, movies I should watch, movies that a 30-year-old should at least have seen. Fight Club. I don't know. Is that a movie? It's like Bar of Soap, Matt Damon, Brad Pitt. I don't know movies. You'll comment. I'll watch them. And then I'll come back and I'll give you a review. And it'll be called I Finally Watched Shawshank Redemption. And I think it's a good idea because people are like, how old are you? You haven't seen Shawshank. Like, I get that all the time. You haven't seen, right? And so I will watch it, and then I will give you my honest take about the film. Now, last thing I'll say is, when I was teaching, and I taught AP Lang specifically, AP Lang was focused on rhetoric, which is argument. It was focused on purpose. It was focused on what is the author trying to communicate to the reader, viewer, experience, air. And I fell in love with teaching that class, and I fell in love with consuming media in a different way. I'll give you an example. I just went and saw Toy Story 5 with my daughter and my wife. No spoilers, phenomenal. I'd say it's second of the quintagy. Trilogy, quadagy, quintagy. I'd say it's second. My ranking is Toy Story 2, always will be number 1, Toy Story 5, Toy Story 1, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4. That's my ranking. When we left the theater, I was talking to my wife. I was like rehashing the movie, and I was like pointing to specific parts, and again, no spoilers, that I believe were intended to create a certain message. And she was like, oh, wow, you're like, she said, you're right, I think. I didn't notice that. And it's like, I can't consume media without thinking about why this is being made. What are the choices that are being made in the movies for what overall purpose? Another example, one of my favorite movies that I actually just watched within the last year, Knives Out, the original. Unbelievable movie, okay? And there is so much commentary on immigrants in that movie. There's so much commentary on the main character's story as being like this housekeeper slash, nurse of this old man, and how the family treats her. And they say she's from 3 different countries in the movie. They talk about, there's like reference to Trump and how he treats, like there's just comments throughout the movie, and it's like very obvious that they don't value her as a person. And then the irony at the end is, and again, this movie's old, so I'm going to give you a spoiler. You should have already seen it. If not, turn it off. But at the end, she gets the inheritance, and all these people are mad. And it's like, she did the right thing. At every turn in the movie, every decision she makes is for the greater good of humanity. It is for truth and justice. And then she gets to reap the benefits of this, while this family looks at her as lesser because she is not American, right? And so I felt like that was a huge underpinning of the story that was, I think, probably more palpable because of the state of like ICE and the state of politics right now. So like when I consume a movie, I do probably have an issue of trying to find something deeper, which I think will play into this series. I guess I'm doing this series. I don't know. So that's my idea. And, I think it fits well with my life. I can watch a movie, I can rehash it, I can do the video, and that's a repeatable thing. A couple times a week, you guys can come back, get engaged, get involved, comment the movie I should watch. So I'm not going to talk anymore. That's my idea. And I quit a lot of times when things fail or when things don't succeed, depending on if the glass is half full or half empty, however you want to say that. And so, yeah, I'm going to give this a chance, and we'll see how it does. I'm going to try not to look at views. I'm going to try not to get too up or down on that. But if you can be helpful and you watch this, maybe comment 2 or 3 of your favorite movies, and let me know what I should finally watch.